The Eternal Servant Speaks. This is episode 2, and today we're going to be talking about how America needs to focus on America, primarily because we have a lot going on. We have people that are against each other. The Republican and Democratic Party are neck and neck, and people are against each other more than ever in America. Well, it's always been this way, but things are rising again, and what I think we need to focus on is, first of all, stop worrying about these other countries we're trying to send money to. And personally, Trump is trying to do the best that he can for this country. On the contrary, he's always trying to put America first, and a lot of people have mixed emotions about that because everybody has different opinions about Trump, and that's completely valid. Not everybody's going to like the president. Not everybody's going to see eye to eye with what he does. But most importantly, I think that we need to respect the president. We don't have to like what he does, but common morality, the way I was, brought up and raised, is that you have to you're supposed to respect the person in charge of this country, like Obama. I respected Obama. I don't agree with what everything Obama did. I have my opinions on him, just like I believe that a lot of people just have mixed emotions. Like, a lot of people loved President Kennedy. He was an outstanding person, outstanding president, and Richard Nixon was as well. But everybody has their own opinion, and a lot of people are biased. And we have to remember that our opinions are our opinions, and that's just that. We don't need to hurt anybody over those opinions that we have. Another thing is gun violence. The Republican Party is very pro Second Amendment, which I'm fond of as well. But thing, liberals have this ideology that all Republicans have this agenda that everybody needs a gun. I personally do not think everybody needs a gun. I think people need to understand that there's a difference between owning a gun and just finding a gun and not taking proper care of it. Invest in a gun safe, invest in open carry classes, concealed carry classes. There are many different ways you can have a gun and be respectful and be courteous of others' thoughts and opinions on having a gun. Now, I also thoroughly believe that a gun is not going to harm somebody unless the person has a harmful agenda or they have something up their sleeve that that's just common sense. Like I spoke in the last podcast about Charlie Kirk. Everybody has this idea that conservatives are all pro-gun. I know quite a few conservatives that aren't too fond of guns as well. But I believe that everybody should have the ability to own a gun if they want. As long as they take proper classes and purchase the gun the proper way. Background checks, make sure you don't get flagged, all that good stuff. I believe if we established more rules into getting a gun, it would also be safer. In schools, here recently in my state, there have been many kids taking guns to school. I don't think that we shouldn't fearmonger people, because there's already people that are anxious enough about their kids going to school, which I thoroughly believe in homeschooling as well. Because if I ever do decide to have a child, I think I'm going to homeschool the kid and my kid, and that's just that. There's too many people that will influence these kids nowadays. And I also have to say this: everybody's parenting style is different. Not everybody wants their child subjected to the things of the world just yet. Keep kids happy. Kids don't need to know about these things that are going on around in this world. That's just my opinion. And children need to be, happy, because youth is very happy. And that's when your memories start to form. and your hippocampus starts to develop and you form memory. So why not have a good childhood and try to just, you know, America has a lot of things that it needs to work on within itself. That's why this podcast is going to be strictly about America, focusing on America, different celebrities I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be also talking about the Christian faith because I'm a firm believer in Jesus. And I am just, it's going to be a broad spectrum of topics that I want to discuss. But America needs to focus on America.